But I look at the national voice for the Democratic Party, it is non-existent. As far as I'm concerned, a damn construction worker could win the Democratic nomination right now, as bad as it is for the Democratic Party. They better get their act together, because I'm going to say that again, I excuse my language, but they are in for an ass kicking.
Stephen A. Smith and Bill Maher are both left-leaning individuals, but the reason why I kind of like them is because they're not afraid to call out the Democrats whenever they embrace the woke leftist ideology, as we're going to see here today on this episode from Real Time with Bill Maher. But before we get to these clips, don't forget to like and comment on this video so we can break through the algorithms. Here we go.
These Jewish students that actually fear for their safety on these campuses. They can't go to class. UCLA, they couldn't go to class. They were stopped. And
it's insane that
people
who think they're the most liberal have allied with radical Islam. It's just...
I can't defend it.
It's insane.
I can't defend it. As far as I'm concerned, a damn construction worker could win the Democratic nomination right now, as bad as it is for the Democratic Party. They better get their act together, because I'm going to say that again, I excuse my language, but they are in for an ass kicking if they don't get their act together. The party is in disarray. I'm disgusted with what I'm seeing on the left. And there is nobody that the Democrats... Listen, I'm a fan of Wes Moore, the governor of Maryland. I'm a fan of Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania. Whether or not they'll resonate nationally remains to be seen. I don't know if Cuomo's going to beat Mamdani, but I look at the national voice for the Democratic Party. It is non-existent. No leadership.
This is what they need. They need somebody who has nothing to lose, who's like, you know what? You like what I say? Great. If you don't, I'll go back to ESPN. Go fuck yourself.
Yes. That's possible. That's possible.
What do you mean Cuomo beat Mamdani? What about Eric Adams?
Well, Eric Adams, listen, I think Eric Adams should have a chance. I think there's a lot of New Yorkers that like him, but Mamdani right now is a native New Yorker. I can't understand that he wouldn't get my vote because he is a socialist. He's a renowned socialist. And I'm not voting for socialism. I'm telling you that right now.
Democratic primary voters, 16% would support Buttigieg. That's the highest of any candidate. Pete Buttigieg.
I don't believe it. I think that's just a poll number. I can't see that happening.
Well, okay, but wait. 16%. Black voters, 0. 0. You don't usually see 0 anywhere. 0's low.
For who? What is this?
For Buttigieg. Explain that. I mean, why do black voters have this? I mean, he's a nice guy.
He doesn't move us.
Well, he's not rallying a lot of everybody else either.
Okay.
16%'s not a big number.
No, it isn't.
Either. Right. Yeah, he's under-indexing a little bit with the black voters, yeah.
A little? What is that all about?
He doesn't move us. I respect the man. I've interviewed him before. Very nice man, highly intelligent. But you gotta be able to move us, bruh. He doesn't move us. Well, you can speculate as to why that is. I'm not going there. It shows how off-kilter we are. You're absolutely right, but it's really about Trump, because it's about hating all things Trump. You're sitting here as if I'm next to you and you were somebody that campaigned and you supported Donald Trump. I'm sitting next to you, so I'm not worth a damn, because my God, you know what? I respect the right that you have the right to feel the way that you feel. And by the way, some of the things you say are absolutely right. I've got some issues with Donald Trump. I can't ignore the $15 trillion in commitments in terms of manufacturing jobs and all of that stuff. I can't ignore the fact that the man has contributed to stopping 3 wars. I can't ignore some of the positive things that he did, that we did need closed borders because of how wide open Joe Biden had it. I don't agree with everything that he's done, but I'm not going to castigate him and talk about him and call him everything but a child of God, like some of our politicians on Capitol Hill are doing, thinking that that's going to work to the benefit of the Democratic Party. He goes to the White House and everybody want to act like all of a sudden he doesn't have a liberal bone in his body. He's not for the Democratic Party because he had the audacity, the unmitigated gall to go to the White House and actually have a conversation with the President of the United States. We live in a society that's not grown. They scared the living hell out of some people. There's not enough people like me that'll tell them to kiss my ass. Okay, you ain't scaring anybody. There's not enough of that. And so as a result of it, you get scared to convey your level of thought. And in a general election, you are going to fall if you are anti-America, if you are anti-capitalism, and you want to embrace extreme leftism and socialism. But they want you scared to say that. You're not scared. you're not scared, and I can assure you I could give less than a damn. When you listen to Jasmine Crockett or an AOC and the way they talk about them, even an Elizabeth Warren to a lesser degree or what have you, the Republicans are having a field day. They like, put them up on the screen. Let's show them. They plaster them all over the place, especially Mamdani. That's not an order today, just like you pointed. Why? Because they know that even though New York might go for him, America won't.
The heartland of America is finding their voice, and they're not going to be scared. They need to speak up and say what they believe.
I think we have the unity ticket sitting right here on the
That is exactly it, okay? The Democrats are facing two big problems in the upcoming elections. First, they have no bench, and then second, they have no positive messaging. They have nothing that Americans are going to agree with because they've embraced radical leftism. And of course, that's where the conversation started from the point that, yes, the leftists, the people who are supposedly all about the LGBTQ plus movement, have embraced radical Islam, all right? These two things do not go together. But of course, that's where they're at right now. And don't forget about the cancel culture. If you're somebody who's on the left, you cannot sit down and have a conversation with a person on the right. It's completely unacceptable. And if you do, guess what's going to happen? They're going to try to cancel you. All right. The left is rabid about their purity, about their ideology, and you cannot break from them. As Stephen A. Smith mentioned, okay, when Bill Maher sat down with Donald Trump, the leftists were like, holy crap, Bill Maher has turned. Get him. Even though, honestly, Bill Maher has not changed one bit. As I mentioned, the only reason I kind of like him is because he's a little bit funny and he's not afraid to call out the Democrats. Now, when we talk about the bench the Democrats actually have, okay, Pete Buttigieg getting 0% support from the black voters in the Democrat Party. Now, Stephen A. Smith alludes to that, right? He says, you can speculate as to why. We all know why. It's because he's gay. The black community is basically the one place left where you can be anti-gay and no one's going to say a word about it. And I kind of find that hilarious, okay? But who's the rest of the bench? Who's the up-and-comers? The Jasmine Crockett's and the Mamdanis, as we've seen, right? The radical socialists. What type of messaging is that for middle America? Oh, I'll tell you exactly what it is. They have abandoned American principles like capitalism, property ownership, the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, right? These are the things that the leftists are against because they want complete and total control over you and your life. And there is no opposition because remember, the left wants to rule over you just like a Mao or a Stalin. But that, of course, is where they're headed. But Bill Maher and Stephen A. Smith at least see that much. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and say hi to your mom for me. Do you like t-shirts? Of course you do. And now you can support the channel by buying an Angry Teacher t-shirt designed by me, Angry Teacher. So if you like America, if you like freedom, if you like liberty, then go ahead and click the link in the description where all designs, of course, are 100% mother approved. So enjoy yourself and find something you like today.